Very good morning to all of you, and thanks for the wishes, Jaya, Ritika. God bless you all. So, today we will start with RF Simulation Lab. Thank you, Charu, Aditi. Thank you, students. Thank you, Avantika, Charu, Aditi. Yes, today we are starting with RF Simulation Lab. With me, my technical assistant, Kiran Mathur ma'am is there. We both will assist you for this RF Simulation Lab. This lab occurs in our antenna lab of our department where we have installed HFSS software. What do you mean by HFSS software? HFSS is a high frequency simulation software. There are many other softwares also for working on antenna or on radio frequency. CST software is there. Many softwares are there, but we are working on HFSS software, which is a purchase version in our lab. So this is the basics of RF simulation lab, and this is the syllabus mentioned by RTU, which you have to study in third year, fifth semester, BTech. Credit point is 1.5. The subject code is 5EC421. Maximum marks are 75. Internal 45 and external marks are 30. End term exam is of 2 hours. I have prepared a Google Classroom for RF Simulation Lab in which maximum students have joined. There I have shared the handouts of the lab where all the basic details, objectives, scope, course outcome, program outcomes, everything is mentioned in that. So you can go through that, what is to be done in this lab. Okay, so now here, microwave engineering basics you have studied thoroughly, where you have studied electromagnetic waves, Maxwell's equation, EM field, your modes of transmission, waveguides, rectangular, circular, transmission lines you have studied. So, based on that subject, this lab is designed. So basics of your EMFT microwave engineering is required to run this lab. And HFSS software is little bit complex, very lengthy. It is not that easy as your MATLAB. So you need lot of practice. I will share many YouTube videos, professional YouTube videos from which you can learn all this software very easily. So I will share the link in the Google Classroom. From there, you can start studying that. And if possible, cracked version 13 का मिल सकता है, so you can install that HFSS 13 software, or you can ask your friends, because here from lab I will work where we have installed HFSS software. Okay, so first experiment is study of field pattern of various modes inside a rectangular and circular waveguide. We all know what is a waveguide. It is a closed structure through which your electromagnetic wave propagates. Here we have to see the field pattern, how your waves, electromagnetic waves, electric field and magnetic field is propagating within the waveguide. We all know what is waveguide. Two structures we have to study, that is rectangular and circular. Different modes you have to study, TE modes, TM modes, in which mode you will get the perfect output, that you have to check what is the field pattern, where is the maximum electric field, where we are having maximum magnetic field, that you have to study in the first experiment. Till now, see students, other students want to join because strength is just 50% right now. All got the information of this lab or not? Yes, students, all got the information. Okay. So next experiment is your change in characteristic impedance and reflection coefficient of the transmission line. What is transmission line, student? Who can answer? What is transmission line? We don't know the meaning of transmission line. Transmit the power from main plant with lower plant. In radio frequency engineering, a transmission line is a specialized cable or other structure designed to conduct alternating current of radio frequency. That is currents with a frequency high enough that their wave nature must be taken into account. And there are many types of transmission line. Here you have to study basic transmission line and you have to check the characteristic impedance reflection coefficient of that transmission line by changing the dielectric properties of materials embedded between two conductors. Two conductors means we are initially designing a circular waveguide. Waveguide is a closed structure. Transmission line is an open structure. Embedded between two conductors, we have to design some circular structure. From that structure, in between that structure, we are placing some dielectric material. So by changing that dielectric material, you have to feel the changes in characteristic impedance and reflection coefficient. So this is my second experiment. Now there are so many types of transmission line, which includes parallel line, coaxial cable, planar transmission line such as microstrip, strip line. So classification is your parallel lines, coaxial cable, planar transmission lines. So here, next experiment consists of that only. So next experiment is your planar transmission line, which include strip, microstrip lines, parallel coupled strip lines, coplanar and slot lines. Determine their field patterns and characteristic impedance. So we have to design strip lines. We have to measure their field patterns and characteristic impedance. Clear, students? Next, we are having many applications of microwave engineering. We can design many structures to transmit the power, to divide the power, to design filters. The filters you are studying in DSP in second year also you have studied various types of filters by using active and passive components, operational amplifiers, diodes, capacitors, resistors. So those couplers, those filters were designed for very low range of frequencies to transmit the data at radio frequency, we need some other devices, we need some specialized devices which can be easily used to transmit this data. So here we are using 3 dB branch line coupler. Coupler is a device which couples power from one line to other line, and the error attenuation should be very low while designing the coupler. Then Wilkinson power divider. Divider is a circuit or it's a structure from where you can divide the power. If I'm now using T type of structure in which two are inputs and one is the output, then it will couple the two input power or to promote the output power. If I'm using only just like a structure of three input device and one output device, or one line input, three line output. So what I will do here, a Y structure you can say, from one end I'm giving input and outputs I'm having three lines. So I will divide that input into three outputs. So power divider is used over there. Hybrid ring for transmission of many data. We use a ring structure, coupler, low pass filter and band pass filter. So you can write this in your copies because you should know the list of experiment. I've shared it in the Google Classroom. From there also you can see. Then design RF amplifier using microwave BJT. BJT, FET you have designed, but those designing was only for audio frequency range. Now for radio frequency range, we can design a BJT and FET by using HFSS software which will work for RF range. So amplifier designing is there. So this is your syllabus of RFS lab. So now we'll discuss some theory points. Then we will start running HFSS software. So please students see the videos properly, and if you can install HFSS 13 version, install it in your laptop. Otherwise just see my videos how we will perform the experiment and write down in your files. If you don't have college papers, use A4 size blank pages or register pages, or if on plain pages also you can start writing your file work. So we'll start with the RF simulation lab manual, mission and vision of the institute to contribute to India and the world through excellence in technical education, to serve as a valuable resource for industry, research, and society, and remain a source of pride for our state, Rajasthan. We represent Rajasthan as our institute comes under Rajasthan. Mission of our college to create technical manpower for meeting the current and future demands of industry. You are the manpower. We are creating technical manpower to provide education in close interaction with industry, with emphasis on development of leadership qualities in students of our college, with sensitivity to social development and eye for opportunity for growth and international perspective. Very nicely mission and vision of our college is described. Then mission and vision of our department. We belongs to Electronics and Communication Society. So as their student, what basics we should know? Vision to produce skilled employable in ethical electronics and communication engineers with research focus to meet industrial and socio-economic needs. Mission of our department, first mission, to provide updated and quality education in electronics and communication engineering to meet industrial needs. Second mission, to make undergraduates employable, enhance technical skill and research ability. So you will feel that at least all these things should be there within you. This quality should be there in you. Otherwise, there is a loophole in your skills. So we should continuously focus to improve our technical skill as an engineers. Third mission, to provide ethical and value based education by encouraging students to actively participate in societal needs activity. As an engineer, technical responsibility is there, but with that, our family responsibility, our social responsibility towards our society, towards nature should be there on the top priority. So we should always contribute towards these skills. So, program, this is the table of contents which we'll discuss in this lab, RFS lab simulation or syllabus we have discussed. Program outcomes of our syllabus, we are having 12 outcomes. POs, program outcomes are your POs. After studying this program, where you can use it. So there are 12 different areas out of which you can just focus on 2 to 3 will match RFS lab simulation. Like carry out research in different areas of electronics and communication. You can definitely do very good research in RF field. It's the latest because this field leads to antenna designing and antennas and sensors, everywhere in the market you require for transmission and communication of data. Every latest device will have a new type of antenna. So you can design, you can do very good research in this field. Just like point number 10, use the techniques, skills, and modern engineering tools necessary for engineering practice. So your modern tool is your HFSS tool. Likewise, few points will match to your curriculum of RFS lab. Okay. Now the course outcome. Program outcomes after 4 years of engineering, where you can implement this is your program outcome. Now the course outcome is after studying this course of RFS lab, you will be able to perform first designing of rectangular waveguide and circular waveguide. Second, transmission line. Then planar transmission lines you can work. You can work with couplers, filters, dividers. You can draw Smith chart. You can plot Smith chart. And you can draw or design RF amplifier using microwave, BJT and FET. So this is the course outcome. Now, RF simulation lab will start with your HFSS software. So the company name is NSoft, which employs HFSS software. It has many fields, applications. In any domain you can work. It provides you a 3D volumetric passive device modeling, graphical modeling you can do. It has a very good graphical user interface, GUI. It integrates simulation, visualization, solid modeling, and automation in an easy to learn environment where solutions to your 3D EM problems are quickly and accurately obtained. See, when you study electromagnetic waves, there you just visualize how the current is flowing, whether the current is maximum or minimum, what is the electric field, what is the magnetic field. We just visualize. We are having our imaginary world over there. But HFSS software is there to prove your dreams. Whatever you are dreaming with RF field, you can prove, you can visualize, you can see that by implementing that tool in HFSS software or that circuit in HFSS software. So HFSS employs a finite element method, adaptive meshing, brilliant graphics to give you unparalleled performance. HFSS can be used to calculate parameters. In your basics theory subjects, you studied how to find S parameters, what is your VSWR, what is your SWR, what are your S11 parameters. So here you can visualize everything. Characteristic impedance क्या है मेरे circuit का, मेरे designing का, whether it is working efficiently or not. So you can find out all these parameters by using HFSS software. So anything you want to ask? Now to set up an HFSS design, follow this general procedure. You can write the bold data. So to set up an HFSS design, follow this general procedure. Insert an HFSS design into a project. On the project menu, click Insert HFSS design. The new design is listed in the project tree. Second, selecting the solution type. We have to select the solution type as dialog box will appear on the HFSS screen. Setting the model's unit of measurement. We are having millimeter, centimeter. Setting the models of unit of measurement. Next step, just you can write Then we will see practically how all these things works. Drawing a model. Drawing a model. See students, I will show you parallelly the HFSS basic tutorial video. So from this you will come to know what is happening. Is it audible to all? Millimeters, mm. Rotation tools are there. You can see the 3D designing very easily. Many shapes are there in this draw structure. So now we will study. This was the basic tutorial of HFSS. Charu is waiting. Okay, so got the screen of basics of your HFSS software, how it will appear, how you have to start, what are different windows in that, how we have to draw a model. So setting the model's unit, you saw that ideal it is set at mm. You can change it to centimeters, micrometers, millimeters. You can change the dimensions. Then drawing a model, you have to create a 3D object. You can draw, you can select that from 3D modeler window. You can select it from 3D modeler window. First experiment is your rectangular waveguide, in which we have to draw a WR90 rectangular waveguide. There are different names for different rectangular waveguide. Here we will design the very easy one, that is WR90. So what we have to do, on the HFSS menu, click draw. Draw the dialog box appears, select box. Dimension of the box can be specified while drawing the box. At the lower end of the screen on the right is a coordinate entry fields. Enter the initial XYZ coordinator. We are designing all the things in 3D. So it is XYZ coordinator. We can set the XYZ coordinator initial position from 0 and then enter the length in XYZ direction in dx, dy and dz. What should be the length of this coordinates? Example, to draw the box with initial point to be origin and propagation along x-axis. Since it is a WR90 rectangular waveguide, the dimensions are fixed for that particular waveguide. So once you will draw the box on the axis, you can change, you can rotate, you can place the rectangular waveguide depending on setting the XYZ coordinators. Then next step is to assign material. Next step is to assign the material. So how I will assign the material? Whatever base material is we require to design that structure will be selected. Click on the right 3D modeler window to get 3D modeler menu. So this, on the 3D modeler menu, click assign material. See, you have to follow these steps every time you are designing any structure. Use help menu from the HFSS software. There all the designing steps are mentioned. There are free manuals available and many examples are stored in that software, so you can work from that. On the 3D modeler menu, click assign material. Select definition, a window appears. By default, it lists all the materials in the Ansoff Global Material Library as well as a project library. Then you can select air or vacuum for the whole box or any other material. As our rectangular waveguide is not filled with any dielectric, so you have to select air or vacuum. For other kind of structures, you can select other materials. Then click OK. So the material will be assigned to your structure. Now I have designed my structure. What I will do after designing, I have to apply some boundary conditions to work with the waveguide. So boundary condition specifies the field behavior at the edges of the problem region and object interfaces. Boundary condition specifies the field behavior at the edges of the problem region and other interfaces. So how apply? I will apply boundaries. Right click on the 3D modeler window to select faces. I have designed a structure, rectangular structure. It will have 6 faces, 2 top and bottom and 4 side faces. So I have to select each phase. I have to apply some boundary conditions. I have to put perfect conductor, then assign and choose finite conductivity. Assign finite conductivity to 4 phases, excluding the port 1 and port 2 select phases. Port 1 and port 2, you have to apply input on the top and bottom phases, and then you will apply boundary condition to the 4 phases. So this is the steps, basic steps. There are many steps remaining. We will discuss those also. But again, I will revise the steps of HFSS. First step, insert an HFSS design into a project, where your project manager will appear. All the links designing will be set over there. Solution type dialog box will appear. Select driven model in the solution type, and your driven model is your rectangular waveguide for the first experiment. Second experiment is a circular waveguide. So driven model is used for calculating S parameters, high frequency structures such as microstrip, waveguide, and transmission line. So always you have to select this driven model. Clear? Setting the units of measurement. You need measurements in mm. You have to select. Mm is your inbuilt, you can change it. Then drawing a model, if I'm selecting a circular waveguide, I have to draw 2 circles. So according to that design, I have to select a model. Select the dimensions, x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. Choose the dimensions of the you're designing. Then assigning a material to that design. Then assigning boundaries to your model which you have designed. Then assigning excitations. Excitations in HFSS are used to specify the sources of electromagnetic fields and charges, currents, or voltages on objects or surfaces in the design. Assigning excitations is a two-step process. Assigning excitation is a two-step process. So what are that 2 steps? Assign ports, then assign an integration line or terminal line separately for each node. So assigning a port. Is my voice clear? Audible? Is it audible? Okay. So assign ports to your design. Assigning ports means select the object faces to which you want to assign the port. Port 1 and port 2, input port and output port. Click HFSS excitations, assign wave port. Wave port represents a surface through which a signal enters. Okay, so students, we will wind up this class here only. In next class, we will discuss excitation modes. Goodbye, students. Any doubt, anything you want to ask? Okay, so try to see the videos of HFSS software. Thank you, students. We will continue in the next class.